Dealing with a bad voice. What's going on, everyone? Who's ready for epic gamer time? Because it is totally time for me to show off how good I am at video games with these two folders that are open. Alright, so let me pull up. Let me pull up what we're gonna play today. You gotta make it full screen. Hold on. Let me make it full screen. Oh god, I don't know how to make it full screen, guys. This is how you play the game. Just do this. Alright, welcome everybody. I see that we're getting more people coming in, so I should actually start before you realize that this is bad content. So today I am going to show you all how I do things. We're gonna start off with, hey, how do I make designs? So you see that this is, we're gonna open this little flash file up, and you see that this is a flash file for the beta party. You got all your stuff. You got all your common areas. You got your hats. You know, the whole shebang. So I see someone in the chat is spamming in what party will you put the yellow puffle? Not planned yet, so that's all I can tell you. We don't really have a specific date for it. Oh, excuse me. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go into this program here. This is a decompiler for flash files. So we go into our folder here, go into our file here, and we open it up, and as you can see, this is the same file. Whoa, no need to time her out, dude. You're good. She was fine. I'm just, we have no plan for the yellow puffle yet. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna take this, we're gonna hit this big export button right at the top, turn it into a FLA file so we can actually edit it. And now we've got our FLA file. It should be, yep, right here. So we open this baby up in Adobe Flash. Let's see. I'm having a bit of difficulty remembering where I put it. There we go. Alright, so go into here, open this up. We're missing a font. We're just gonna have to look. I'm pretty sure I have Acme. Yeah, I've got Acme. Let's put on Acme Explosive. We'll pretend. So, oh, it breaks it. Okay, so this is essentially a little key thing. So we're gonna take off this layer, turn this off, and all right, hold on. That's the wrong layer. Throw that over here for a sec. There we go. That's the layer I want to reduce visibility of. So put this back. Let's see. I'm so confused as to what OS this is. Windows 7 with Windows 10 theme, because I like Windows 10's themes but hate the OS itself. Hello? So if we take, I thought it was Windows 8.1. No, it's not. So let's take this piece and let's bring that down too, so you guys can actually see it. Give me a minute. I don't know why it's still giving me trouble. Let's throw the tree graphic over here. This layer is already invisible. I guess it's not invisible on this layer. There we go. Sorry, I'm still a bit rusty. So before I came on to 3D, I did this for a while, and I kind of took the skills I learned from doing this kind of thing and I converted them over when I actually was hired. So I'll show you some stuff. First off, these things, as you can see, they all are right on the map. They are controllers for when things move. For example, if I go over here, it'll take me to the dock. Over here will be the forts, coffee shop, nightclub, gift shop, hats. These are all named, except they're not now. So I look like a moron. So normally they're named. This specific file doesn't have them named, but that's how you control what you do essentially. So I'm gonna move this over so I can show you the hats file. So if we go into our library and we go in and we try to figure out, oh hey, you can see that all of these aren't original because they're all bitmaps. The original stuff always uses symbols. Although actually for here it might not. Definitely depends. This is way old, so let's go and we have to look for our hats icon. There we go. So let's take a closer look at what we're looking at here. So this hats icon, if I were to, in theory, want this specific icon, what I would do is that I would delete this, delete all of this, and then I would lasso tool the rest of it to try and get it so it's only that. Okay, well I lassoed the hats, so that's on me. But you want to try and lasso around everything that isn't the thing you want to delete. So let's just say, for the sake of convenience, I'm going to take that and I'm going to make it green. I'll show you why in just a second. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, hey, I want this for whatever I want it for. You know, I want it for, I don't know, 3D's throwing another beta party and I want this specific texture. So I take it, I go onto my snipping tool, I take a little snapshot, grab this, save it as the hats text. I go out, go down to my desktop, I open this in Photoshop. It's amazing that the beta tests SWF file has been archived. Yeah, I think it's really cool that they have all the stuff from all the way back. It's pretty crazy to me. So Photoshop's gonna die. It is what it is. I feel like there's an easier way to do this. Well, you actually can just directly export the symbol. The reason why I don't do that is you have to take it at the size that it's originally at, and I don't want to really resize symbols because I kind of use them for a lot of things. But you could, but you'd still have to go. You would still have to go into Photoshop and do this because they don't come transparent. So normally, what I'll do is I'll just go into Photoshop, turn them transparent, save them, which is what I'm going to do now, and then I'll throw them on the box. So if Photoshop would ever, you know, if it would ever load, essentially. So while we're waiting, how's everyone's night going? How we all doing? I guess it's not night for everybody, but it's starting to become kind of evening-ish for me. I just ate. I'm feeling pretty good. How are y'all doing tonight? Okay, now what's going on? Photoshop's taking longer than usual. There we go. Alright, so once the actual stuff loads in, there we go. Okay, so let's take our file. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the magic eraser tool, if I could find it. Let's take our magic eraser tool. Let's take out our sections. So now all we've got is the hat's actual graphic. So let's save this as hats text. There we go. Now we're going to save the changes to the PNG one more time just to make sure. And then we're going to close out. So now we've got our little texture. So the next thing that we have to do is that we have to not that. We need to go into Blender. And while Blender loads in, I really don't have any questions for you. How you guys feeling about 3D turning 1? Because it feels incredibly fast for me, but I'm wondering how it feels for you all, because like for me, I've been here for like 3 years, so it's kind of just the same at this point. Like, yeah, we're turning 1. It is what it is. But I'm sure for the other people in the community, it definitely doesn't feel that way. So just let me know. Let me know. I want to know about these things. So now we've got our box, and we're going to go into the cycles renderer in a minute, but first we're just going to we're going to set the default color to be this sort of tannish color. We'll make it kind of like that. I think that's a pretty good. Now we go into cycles. That's Blender game. Hold on. There we go. There's cycles. So this is cycles. The main difference between cycles and Blender render is that cycles will it makes the game look a lot more cartoony, and it also lets me go directly in and apply textures directly instead of having to do this weird roundabout thing that everything else does. So we're going to add our texture. Okay. We're going to add our texture. We're going to go in and put it in the image texture, and then it's going to do this purple thing. We open this up, go into our desktop, we click on the hats text. So now it's going to show off this little black screen. So what's happening here is that the actual what do you do when Windows 7 support ends? I don't know. I'm kind of scared, but I'm gonna keep trucking on. So what you have to do is that you have to go in to here, and when it does this black thing, you actually have to change the transparent material to whatever this color is. I didn't want to set it to anything else yet because I wasn't sure what I was going to go with, but we'll set it to that color, and then we'll open this up again in Adobe Photoshop. And while Photoshop opens this time, we actually have something that we can do. So while Adobe Photoshop is opening, we have to actually mark our seams. Now, the way it works is that Blender's kind of weird, that you have to select all your edges that you want to put your texture on before you can actually use them. So it kind of knows where to place the texture. So we're going to do, I believe it's, I'm trying to think. Give me a second. I always forget. I think it's under view. No, okay. All right. I really wish I wasn't forgetting this right now because I look like a fool. We might have to look this up. Might have to look it up, my gamers, because I'm actually forgetting how to mark seams. But I think Adobe Photoshop is ready to go. Oh, not there. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's in edges. That's right. Thank you. So let's go into the let's go into our little diffuse color. Oh, well, that broke it. Let's not do that. So what we actually have to do is that we have to go into our hex, go there. There we go. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm also not really going to do much color correction on it because it's not an actual texture. If it was an actual texture, I'd do a little bit more. I'm not insanely worried about it, but I will actually brush it up a little bit. I'll just brush up the sides a little. That's good enough. I'm not really going for perfection here, so we'll save that. And after that saves, we have to go in and we actually have to deselect, or not deselect, we actually have to delete it entirely, but we can't edit mode. Great. There we go. So if we click again and we go to our image texture and we click on desktop and we go back into our hats text, and then we actually have to do it now. Let's go see if the chat helped me out a little bit with the marking the seams. Yep. So it's under edges. Oops, that's extrusion. Let's see. View, edges. Well, it's Control E, but Control E was not working for whatever reason. I know I hit Control E. So let's mark our seam, and then we have to hit unwrap, and then we hit assign. And now what it's doing here is that the actual image is reversed. So we just have to go in and do that just to make sure it's actually in existence. I actually can't tell if it's in existence yet. I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. No? Are you not there? Is it on the underneath? Is it on the underside? Is it in the underbelly? Anyway, so what I usually do, which is not the recommended way to do this, I will warn you, it's not the recommended way of doing this, but what I do is that I do a Shift D to make sure first off that the texture is actually functioning correctly, and then I will just turn it around. Don't do that. It's terrible. It's not good. It's a really bad way, actually. I'm actually gonna make sure that the texture is working before I really try to push that. So let's go into our render. And okay, it is working. So the only issue with it is that our hats is upside down. So let's first add a few things that'll make our render look a little bit prettier. First off, let's go into our camera and let's move it a little bit closer. So we'll take this, we'll move it up, up, and there we go. Now when we render it out, we get the box to be much closer. Actually, let me turn off cycles because cycles sucks right now. I don't know if Blender will keep the texture, but nope, it doesn't. We have to use cycles. So the render is also like really, really dark. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna add this thing, ambient occlusion, right here. Up everything. If you're a new modeler and you're having issues with rendering like I did, use ambient occlusion. It makes everything look 10 times better automatically. Like, look how clean this render's starting to look now. And it's like a simple box. Like, this is nothing, but it's so clean. I think no one is watching. I think no one is watching as well, but we don't talk about that. I don't think anyone enjoys my content, but I at least enjoy making it, so it's all that matters, man. You just gotta do you. You can't let everyone else get up in your business and make you question your stuff. But yeah, if you're multitasking, I don't care. These streams are meant to be a little bit more chill. I'm not really here to I'm not here to force you to only listen to me. But so the hats is upside down, big problem. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go in here and we're going to. I actually don't know if I'm gonna get away with this one. There we go. So we could do this, and because we just rotated it, it will be. It'll actually be still wrong. I don't even know how that's possible particularly, but I actually just think it's because the hat's texture itself is oriented incorrectly. So let's go in and see which way that. Let's go and see what we're doing wrong exactly. So, I enjoy your streams. I enjoy your modeling streams. You guys both work for me. You guys have to say that. I miss the old CP, 2004 to 2012. Yeah. I also enjoy it. So, what I'm seeing here is that the actual hat's texture is upside down. Like I can't do anything about it because it's just. I actually don't know because. Huh. Yeah. Why not just mirror the face in the UV editor? Yeah, that's the other thing. I am a self-admitted terrible texturer. I just know how to pull stuff off of Flash files, and then I generally will mess around with it for hours trying to get it to work. I very rarely even use the UV editor, but you're right. I should just mirror the face. So anyway, you guys kind of get the gist of how this works. So I'm gonna move on to the main event. So I don't really know how to start this, but for anyone who hasn't seen my Twitter, which is most of you, I put out a little teaser that was it was basically a little teaser with like a box that read hats on it, kind of similar to this but with a different font. Sorry. So I guess I'll just come right out and say it. We have a party planned for November. We have a little small thing, not crazy, but we have this little thing. It's a pizza party. We've got it planned for November, and that hat box is filled with chef hats. So the pizza party itself ran the chef hat, and then they ran the pizza apron. So the main point of this stream was, hey, let's show people what I do for some of my textures, because stuff like that, just showing it off. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go into, I believe I still have the pizza party in my recycle bin, but we're gonna go download a fresh one. So let's go to the Club Penguin archives, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go look up pizza party. Now, I don't know if we'll get anything for this, because I don't think it's called the pizza party. Oh, no, they gave it to me. They actually gave it to me. Okay. So, now, there's two pizza parlors, one of which actually has the aprons, and the other one doesn't. So, I actually need to check them both. This one only... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. It's the aprons. The aprons are the constant. So, it doesn't matter which one we pick. But, yeah, this was for the opening of the pizza parlor. So, we were like, whatever, we'll do a little bit of a pizza party. We'll do a little members party, just going out. And I'll actually show you guys, since it's done, and since you guys haven't seen it yet, I'll show you the comparison. Hold on, I accidentally closed out my my window, so I'm an idiot. Just give it 1 second. Here it comes. Okay, so back to the Club Penguin archives. Let me just Alright, so here are the Club Penguin archives. The main page. Same thing, just gonna put in Pizza Party. And we're gonna throw in our first pizza parlor. Now this one has the hats and it has the aprons. So this is the hat box that we were going for, and I'll show you the comparison between the hat box that is here and the hat box that I created. So we'll go into Blender. And from Blender, we shall go to, let's see, I believe it's in, I think it's in rooms. I might be showing some things I'm not supposed to show. Let's see, where is the box? I think it was hat box I called it. Furniture. Nope, furniture is not allowed. There it is, hats box. So this is the hat box. It's taken a minute, but I'll answer some questions while it's rendering out. How's my day going so far? I'm feeling pretty okay. I had a pretty stressful day. A few classes that were kind of annoying. I had a big test today, so that was fun. How do I play CP3D? Go to our website. Just look up Club Penguin 3D. You'll find it. Flash will be deactivated in 2020. How will CPO and other CPSs online? Probably they'll. It's like what my boy Big Keeper is saying. It's just that you can't install Adobe Flash after 2020. So what's gonna happen is that a bunch of the emulators are a bunch of the Club Penguin emulators are moving over to Python, especially from what I've been looking into, because I've been doing a little bit of research on doing a private server of my own, but I've been looking into it, and it seems like a lot of it is going to be over on Python, or I think I saw a little bit of JavaScript, which was kind of cool. I was kind of interested, but that's neither here nor there. I gotta go now, but I'll see you guys next time. 100%. I hope to do more of these in the future. So this is the hat box. This is gonna be for the pizza party. You're gonna be able to get the pizza hat and the pizza apron. Both of them are already completely modeled. Both of them are ready to go. But this is the plan for November. We're going to do a little bit of a pizza party so everyone can... We're really doing it just so we can focus more on our back end, so we don't have to like spend as much time on a huge party. And we were like, well, people like the pizza party. It's a good time. I enjoy it. So, you know, you'll be able to go around with a chef hat. Staff will be in the pizza parlor. We'll hang out. We'll talk. But yeah, so this is the idea. Just giving you guys a little hats, and then we're going to do aprons now. So... Oh, excuse me. My back has been kind of weird for the past while. So let's get out of here. I might show you guys some of the stuff that's in here if you guys actually want to see it, because this is a lot. We can slightly derail the stream to go look through all of my stuff here. That's up to you guys though. Just send a message in the chat if you wanna if you want to go party. If you guys want to look into this, or if you guys want to... There's also like 3 files named Richard, and I'm not sure what any of them are, so that's fun. Miss Operation Blackout. Good morning, Vietnam. Hey, Lerp, what's going on, my dude? So I guess I'll derail the stream for a little bit because I've got like another hour on the time slot before, you know, I'm ready to kind of cut it. This is gonna be a relatively short one. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go into. I'll let you guys pick. You guys want to go into clothing, etc., furniture, or rooms? What do you guys want to see? You guys will be able to make fun of my terrible modeling skills because a lot of this is really bad models. Real bad. What's everyone want to see? Furniture, etc., clothing, or rooms? Completely up to you, my G words. All right, so we got 1 vote for rooms. Anyone else gonna throw in, or am I going into rooms? I have no idea. Clothing? Up, that's 1 vote for clothing. So we got 1 for clothing and 1 for rooms. Anyone else want to chime in? Anyone else want to chime in with some other epic gamer ideas? Or is everyone unified? Is everyone unified? Up, there's another clothing. Clothing and rooms sounds most interesting. All right, we'll hit clothing. Clothing seems to be the popular choice, so we'll hit clothing then. So I'll go through some stuff. This here is the original model of the 3D glasses that I did for CP3D. I don't think it ever got used, but I honestly couldn't tell you. I think we went with a different one. But this was the original model that I was like, hey guys, this is like pretty chillin', just a normal 3D glasses, nothing crazy. Although you can notice that my modeling skills aren't that great because I didn't really know how to extrude yet. So you can see that these 2 are different pieces and this is a different piece. I just started with Blender at the time. So that's the 3D glasses, not really much to talk about there. I can't show you that. I can't show you that. I can show you this. So this is the fisherman's hat that we made. I don't actually think we ever released it, but it exists. It's ready to go. All we have to do is implement it. So if you guys want the fisherman hat for like a future catalog, you just like, I can send this over and have it textured in like a day, and then it'll be in. It's another model where you can tell that I wasn't really good at what I was doing yet, because actually, wow, I did extrude this. I didn't give myself enough credit. I thought I just kind of lazily put a ring around, but no, I extruded this out. So it's better for this one if you can see the flat texturing, because I've got like a little dip in the hat here. There's a lot going on in the bottom. I never bothered to pick this up because I was lazy. Let's actually do that now. There we go. Now it's up. So the model is better now. Help showing us that you don't need to be a good modeler to start doing stuff and become good. No, I like suck. I am like a really bad modeler. Like, do not take my example. I am constantly looking back at my old models and trying to improve them. It looks good, but it's not really that interesting. Yeah, no, it's kind of a simplistic model. I just did it. Well, I did it on a modeling stream, I think, back when we did them more often, and I forgot it was in here. Let's see. Oh yes, everyone's favorite item. This is the original model for the Kahoot hat. Basically, what I did is that I took the green ball cap that one of our other modelers did, and I just reskinned it essentially. We later put on a texture for the white that adds the number one from I'm pretty sure it's literally just ripped from a SpongeBob episode. But that's a thing. What else? I don't really have much to say about the Kahoot hat. We're not getting it for a while. This is the Valentine's Day box that we modeled for the original box that we modeled for the Valentine's Day party. It's super simplistic. There was like literally nothing happening here. It's the laziest item. It's the laziest thing I think I ever made. What you would do is that you'd go up to it and it would give you the red sunglasses, which I also probably think are in here. Oh hey, Y-Drop's here. Yes, it is ripped from a SpongeBob episode. I thought it was. So yeah, there's not really much here of importance either. So we got the Lucky Hat, which this is something from a very long time ago. This is from March. It's using the old Penguin model, so it's fairly old. What it was is that we were looking at it and we were like, we should do St. Patrick's Day for March, and I was tasked with making a little model for St. Patrick's Day, and I made it, and then we never used it. I think the reason why was because we were so obsessed with getting April Fools up that we kind of forgot about March. It was before we did parties every month, which, by the way, we're stopping doing that. We're gonna start doing like big parties occasionally and then small parties in smaller months. Like doing all the big parties, especially when we don't have all the mini games in and all that, is just, we've realized it's not a sustainable model. We need more actual like constant content than the party content. So to the end of this year, we're still doing big parties. The November is going to be a bit slower, but I promise you December is going to be insane, and then after that we're going to kind of back up. So this is our original concept for the St. Patrick's hat. You can tell it's terrible because I actually don't think I bothered to fix this issue here. I don't think I have backface culling on. I think I just was bad. Let me see. Oh no, I do have backface culling on. Okay. So this is what it was supposed to look like originally. But we didn't go for it. I don't remember why we did it particularly. But we did. So that's the St. Patrick's Day item. I called it the Lucky Hat. I don't think it actually is called that. I think that was my shorthand for it because I didn't remember the name. And then there is this, which everyone loves this item. The party hat. I had a lot of fun designing this item personally. I've told the story of this item a few times, and I'll tell it now. So what I was doing is that I saw that a lot of people because this was at a time where CP3D was still kind of new. Our community was going in and out. We had more people, but we had a lot more people that just kind of came to get the free items and left, and not as many constant players. So I saw that a lot of people were asking about the alpha hat and the beta hat, and they were like, where are they? Like I was like, we're not doing that anymore, and people didn't really like that much. So I decided to be a complete jerk, and I put the beta hat in the town again as a joke. The original idea was that because the first ever public build on CP3D was an April Fool's Day build, I was gonna be like, well, technically it's been a year, so here's the 1 year hat or whatever. Here's the alpha hat, and the original idea was to call this the alpha party hat, but I think we ended up going with some other name for it. I couldn't tell you what it is. I know it's on the wiki. I think it's called the April Fool's alpha hat, or an April Fool's anniversary hat or something like that. Something weird. But this is probably one of my favorite items because it's so simplistic, but it's really fun to wear. I thoroughly enjoy this one. I just like if I could make a change to it, I would add a texture that makes it glow. But yeah, so that was the original idea, just to mess with people, and then somewhere along the line, I don't remember who was mentioning it. It might have been me, but someone on the staff team was like, "Hey, we should do this whole thing with like missing textures," because we were like, "Oh yeah, we should take advantage of the 3D a little bit and do stuff that Club Penguin couldn't without looking like kind of weird." So originally the idea was to do the Gmod texture, like the missing texture, like purple and black horrible like thing when you didn't pirate all the software. And what I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea, but didn't Gmod used to have giant like red X's or something for errors? And it like got passed around a little bit, and I was like, that would be really good for the beta hat or the fake alpha hat, because the original idea was just to like throw in like a bunch of like give it like the alpha hat box and not let people like actually access it, like put it down and then not legitimately let anyone grab it, like just make it so it's the box and just mess people that way. But I thought the idea of the error hat was a lot funnier, so I went with that. And it's also one of the easiest items in the game to have rigged, because it literally doesn't touch the penguin at all, so it was no work to actually get it to sit on the penguin at all, so you just had it like right above the head. So everyone really liked it, and we went with it after like no resistance. Palpatine, you can change the shader to make it glow. Yeah, I'll probably throw it over. Y-Drop does most of the actual shaders on stuff, and Y-Drop and Lurpish are the main two. And Lurpish is the one telling me the question. I'm an idiot. So that's the end of the error hat story. I don't really have much to say about it other than the fact it's probably my favorite item. This is the original pin model. Now, I have a story about this one that I never told anybody. The way that this worked originally was that I was going to make the pins 3D. Like the pin would, it was kind of complicated, but in short, I went with the idea, I ran with it for a little bit, and then I realized it's not working. It's not going to be a good idea. It's not going to work. And then I was talking with Y-Drop a little bit at one point, and I was like, hey, he mentioned at some point, he was like, hey, can I have the pin model? And I was like, why? I thought we scrapped that idea. And he's like, no, but I want to use it for, it's like perfect for like actually hiding the pin. I was like, oh my god, yeah, that is right. It would make perfect sense. So we eventually went with that, and it's still the pin model that you use when you're looking for pins now. Another super simplistic one. It probably got changed at some point, but this is the one that I have. So that's the pin. This is a pot model. So the story behind this one is that at one point we let donors make custom items, and one person requested that I make this. He was like, make a pot on their head, and I was like, okay, you paid us money, so I'll do it. So what I did is I made it like corked over, and I was fooling around with it a bit recently, but I didn't change some of the more egregious parts of the model, like the fact that this is literally like inside the pot. Like I didn't touch that. But that's really it. I don't think we're ever going to release it, because I'm pretty sure the person who requested this doesn't really play the game anymore, and it's kind of a like, oh, okay, the penguin's doing things. For some reason the penguin just kind of does this. I don't know why, but it looks pretty surreal. End of Evangelion. So that's really that. This was a beta sort of for the original pumpkin basket, but it sucks, and I scrapped it immediately because I hated it. That's about all that I can say about this one, because there isn't really much else. It's just a hollow sphere that I didn't like and didn't want to use. And I never textured it either, because this was back when we weren't using textures yet, so I was going to have to like cut into this with like the actual knife tool and I was like, I'm not doing that, so I scrapped it. Let's see. I can show this. This is the original model of the red sunglasses. They, as you can see, they looked a lot sharper than the ones that are currently in the game, and they're a lot bigger too. Both of these were kind of intentional decisions, because I was kind of looking at it. I'm like, the red sunglasses would be so much cooler if they were a bit like, they had a bit more of a sharp edge to them. But this model ended up being a little bit too big. And then when we scrapped it, I think we scrapped it because it wasn't working on the newer Penguin model. So we took it and we essentially just scrapped this. But this is one of the models that I enjoyed making this one a lot. I thought it was kind of cool. Let's look through the sunglasses through Penguin Vision. It's not letting us, but you can see that there's nothing. There's literally nothing on the side. It's just an optical illusion. So that's that. Let's show some other things. We can show this incomplete sombrero. This was the original idea for the sombrero. Because I always liked the idea that the sombrero was super oversized and like terrible in a lot of ways. But what I didn't understand is that this is a terrible way of doing things. So what I'm essentially doing here is that I'm cheating. I took a circle and I cut it the radius of this piece, and I just kind of like hit it and pretended like no one would notice, even though it's the most noticeable thing ever. What you're actually supposed to do, for people that are thinking about getting into modeling, is that you're supposed to take these faces and you're supposed to cut a line here, and then grab all of these faces and extrude them out and then color them so it looks more like a natural curve instead of what I did here, which is basically lie. But that's about it. What else we got? We have the original concept of the tiara. I don't remember what this is, to be honest, but let's see. Oh, yes. I actually did this one on a modeling stream a while ago. This one is... I wanted to go for more of a sheen with it than usual. So I kind of did some weird stuff with the actual, like, the rendering, and it's kind of weird. I still kind of like it, but I don't think it would really work. I don't really know. I've got nothing. This one was just kind of a weird thing that I did. Let's see. Ah, yes. True veterans will remember. This is a trash can costume. So the idea behind this one was that we were gonna do it. I think it was for Halloween. We were gonna originally let you dress up in a trash can, and I don't remember why we scrapped it, other than the fact that I didn't really like the idea that much. I thought it was gonna. I thought the model was bad mostly, which is kind of the idea for a lot of these. I'm kind of a super crazy perfectionist when it comes to these sorts of things. So I don't like putting out things that I don't think are good enough. So I kind of left this, and I thought I deleted it at one point, but I didn't. So let's see what the original. I remember that I rendered it out and it looked bad. Ah, yes. Yes, I remember this render now. Okay, so why isn't that in the main game? I don't know. I don't really like the model that much. It's kind of crappy. So these, I think I can show this off now. These are the Valentine's Day balloons. There's not really much to say about them other than the fact that they're recolors of the Beta Party balloons, and since they're modeled in C4D, they're awful. That's about it. They're just really annoying to work with because they've got like a reference point right at the center, and they're kind of super inconvenient. So I had to work on these for like a day, just trying to get them to work. So what else can I show off? I can show off everyone's other favorite item. This was the original concept for the wizard hat. So as you can see, the model hasn't really changed that much since last year, but one important difference is that the stars on the costume, these are actual, I don't know if they're actually connected to the rest. They are. Okay, so these are actual, these aren't like a texture. These are like actual, pieces of the model to do. So yeah, this was the original concept. I went with it. I didn't really like it, but we put it in. Snow eventually retextured it to be a little bit more fitting, and I kind of like it. I like the item a lot more than I did. The only thing that I wish that we'd bring back was this little. The curve has gotten a lot less like frumpled, and I always like the original curve that I made a little bit better than the one that made it in the end. But other than that, pretty good. So now what can I show? I can't show that. I guess I'll show off. I had a specific thing I wanted to show off. Yeah, I'll go into etc. Etcetera's got a lot of things that aren't related to 3D, but I can show off some things that I think you'll like if I can find them. Let's see. This actually is an interesting thing. This is the original penguin model that was made in Swift 3D, translated over to Blender. So let's render out this baby a little bit. Let's go and look at him. Let's go look at him. Let's go see if we can get the angle right. So let's take this. Let's apply everything we've learned. Let's add some ambient occlusion on there, and let's render it out. See what happens. Let's see how close it is. So yeah, that's the slightly edited original model that I ported over to Blender. The original idea was to use it, but we decided the model was too horrible to really implement well, and we decided to scrap it. Every piece of it is a separate object. It has no bones. It would just be awful. So that's that. There is one more thing I would like to show you all, if I can find it. What is... I don't actually know what that is. I can't find it. That's weird. I guess I'll show off some rooms. Let's see. What can I show off? I guess I can show this off now. I'll probably get some beef, but this was the original April Fool's concept for the pet shop. I've got the UV editor open, so let's take that off for a minute. So this was the original concept for the pet shop. The original idea was to have this incredibly basic room that this sign up here would read lazy. I think the texture is still in here. Let me take a look. I don't actually know if it's still in here. It should be, but maybe it isn't for whatever reason. I just added another one. Okay, so for whatever reason, this model I scrapped. Because it was openly antagonistic towards the other server that we all wanted to forget existed because they were lazy and bad. Let me make sure it's on the other side before I do that. Nah, okay. We're done with this. Yeah, so it's basically just a recreation of the Penguin 3D pet shop because I thought the design was lazy. That's it. It's just a little bit of ripping. What else can I show? I guess I can show this. It's been a while. This was the original idea for a Camp Penguin style mess hall. So there's a lot wrong with this. Most importantly, this piece at the top, where instead of the wood going in a natural order, it starts going like that, and that's because I didn't know how to texture, and I just used materials because I was lazy and I was bad at modeling and even worse at texturing than I am now. But we scrapped it. We never did Camp Penguin. We might in the future, but if we do this model will definitely not be getting use. The font maybe will, because I'm pretty sure I tracked down the font that this actually was, but other than that, I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. What else can I show off? Oh, I guess I can show this off. It's been a really long time since I've looked at this. This was the original concept for the Ninja Hideout. Why we didn't do it is kind of foggy in my mind. I don't remember. I mean, I know why we didn't do it, because we were nowhere near making Karjitsu yet. But the reason why I just have it and I didn't do anything with it, I have no idea. But yeah, this is just the original concept. Excuse me. I'm getting a little tired. But yeah, so that's a thing. It's pretty unfinished, you can tell. I've got things, it's pretty unprofessional. You can see that I've got just random models just hanging out at the bottom because I was being lazy. There's a lot wrong here. But yeah, this is the original sort of idea. It's very simplistic. What else do I have? Oh, I can show off one of my things that I was most proud of modeling at the time that I still don't completely hate. This is from a modeling stream. Let me see if I can... Yeah. This was a Space Adventure model. Now, I don't remember if it looks better. I think it looks better in Blend Rend than it does in Cycles Rend. So this is the overall idea. So there's a little sun. You got all your stuff. You've got two penguins hanging out in there. Now you might be thinking, oh well, if it's Space Adventure, is it those two evil aliens? No, it's not. It's not two evil aliens. I'll turn on our lights and we'll see who's really hanging out in there. So who's really hanging out in there, you say? Oh wow, it actually still doesn't show them. Alright. Well, this just makes the model objectively better then. Yeah, I could have just done this. So yeah, this was Space Adventure. So yeah, anyway, back to my original question. Oh, who's in there? So if we open up our cockpit, And by open up our cockpit, I mean we're going to do this little trick that I got shown today, where we take this entire material and we select it and then delete it. You can see that the entire time it was two extremely badly rendered penguins and an even worse chair. Wow, what a mystery. But yeah, these were I had this thing that I used to do on a lot of the streams where I would make the penguins yellow just to mess with people because people don't like the Pookies that much. So I was just doing a little bit of it. It was a big old goof. But yeah, so that was a thing for a while. So that's one of the renders that I like a lot, and I'll actually end off the stream on some positive notes. So one model that I'm still incredibly proud of is my model for the sports shop. This one, it's actually in a really bad render. Let me change the camera a little bit. I don't know what I was thinking having it be this terrible, but we're just gonna move it. We're gonna pull that camera back a little bit. There we go. So it still does not have ambient occlusion on it. I don't know why I don't even know why I didn't do that. Anyway, so here's what the model looked like in the beginning. We're still using this model, very edited version, but still general idea, and I legitimately like this model a lot. I think it's pretty good in terms of my more recent work. So there's that, and then there's my my magnum opus that I'm very proud of. I don't know where it is anymore. Did I lose it? There's no way. Oh, no, did I lose it? Where is it? Oh no, that's real bad if I lost it. I'm not gonna like that very much. No, I gotta have it somewhere. There's no way that I just lost it. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Yeah, it was right there. Yeah, this was my original gift shop for Christmas last year. I still like this model a lot. I think it's pretty good. I think it's one of my better pieces. The snow is recycled. We were gonna add more snow in post. Snow isn't really my thing. I'm not good at modeling it. But other than that, if you take the snow off, I think it's still pretty good. I think it still holds up. And this was used last year for Christmas, and hopefully it gets used again. But we might go in a different direction or have someone else remodel it, or whatever it is. So that's really. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I can show off that would be? I can show you the lighthouse that I did. I did like 4 lighthouses, and I think this was the one that we settled on. Oh, did I just open up a new Blender window? Yeah, I did. Okay, that was dumb. Yeah, this is the texture. I don't think the texture works. No, it doesn't. Okay. So yeah, this is the lighthouse model that you'll still see in certain locations. Most prevalently, you'll see it on the ski hill if you just hang out on there. You'll see it. I'm pretty sure it's the one that we use when you're looking out from your igloo. It's in a lot of places. I have like 4 different concepts for the recycling plant that I always end up abandoning and then starting again. This is the concept for the stage that I made. I never showed anybody this for a very long time, but this was the concept I had for the stage if we ever did it. The original idea was that you're gonna use these backstage holes to go up here. We didn't really get completely through it, because we didn't really want to have to update the plays every month while we, it's a lot of modeling. But I was still commissioned to do it. I think I did a relatively good job. I think there's places where it's pretty obvious that it's horrible, but in a lot of places I think it still looks pretty good. I still like my chair model a lot. If you can't tell, because I used it a million times. But yeah, I thought this was pretty good. It was when I was first like really starting to get comfortable with I was starting to get comfortable with Blender at the time, so I kind of was still getting I was still a little bit nervous, but I was figuring stuff out. I figured out how to use text. I figured out how to model like different materials and stuff. I learned how to duplicate. I learned how to extrude. I learned how to use the grab tool to try and reshape objects and stuff. Really early Blender stuff, but I always liked it. I don't know why these two are like slanted. I don't know why that is, but who knows? I probably had a plan for it at some point. And this is the exterior. Yeah, I could totally see us bringing this one specifically back, but I think it's a little bit too archaic and a little bit too bad for now. I think it desperately needs a remodel, and I don't really want to be the one to do it because modeling this was a nightmare. So yeah, I wouldn't expect to see it for a fairly long time. All right, that's about all I'm gonna show, unless there's something in the furniture segment that you guys really want to see. Most of this you've already seen before, and anything you haven't seen is in the penguin style. Other than this, which is a complete oddity that people ask me about. This was the original concept for the portal box. We were gonna make this move eventually when we got an actual texture artist, but these are all. It's just a piece. It's just a little piece that you can go up and down. It's a trick essentially, a little trick of the trade. If the whole CP3D team didn't want to make new models every month, then what was preventing you from the team from just updating the cataloging stage every 2 months or so? The main reason was that we were so worried about, because even now we don't have a bunch of the core content that we need to actually be like a successor. So we kind of want to chill out on doing. We don't want to spread ourselves too thin. But yeah, the story behind this is that when we first were testing the igloo system, I was told, hey, just make a really simple igloo item that people can try and test with. And I was like, what's the most iconic igloo item? And I was like, portal box. So I went with the portal box, and we went from there. I'm sure we're gonna release it eventually. I'm sure that by next April it'll be back. But it was removed after we were done testing, and I think it might be completely removed from the game totally. So I don't think we even have it anymore. I'm pretty sure it's quite literally unobtainable. Even as a staff member, I don't think I have it. I don't think I have the specific permissions for it. I don't even think Snow does. I think it's out of the game completely. But that's that. The only other thing that I can show is the recolors for the dining table and the dining chair, which were just the rosewood variants that were released a few times. I personally like the rosewood ones better than the originals, so I made them. We never added them. Main reason being that they're kind of late additions. They came out in like 2009, so we were like, okay, well, we'll go with the dinner table for now, and then if people really want the rosewood, we'll bring that back. And no one really ever seems to talk about the rosewood. I like it personally. I think it's pretty sick. What else can I show? You guys already know about the whiteboard, the chalkboard, and the organ. I guess I can show the, I guess I can show this. So that's this is the penguin dab that I made a while back. Why I made it, I have no idea. I did it in a stupor. I have no idea why I did it, but I did it, and this was the result. So what else can I show off? I guess I can show off the, I mean, you guys already know the original CP3D website. That one's just the one that isn't the one that's currently up. This is the original version. Date modified October 28th, 2018. So it's been a while. It's actually been almost a year since I've edited the website. So that's fun. Yeah, it was due for a change. And then I guess I should show off the other video that I think came out way better than the other one. This one, which I did first, I think it's much more fluid than the other one is. I think I really just think it's kind of an unpredictable direction. I was originally going to make the arms come out first, but I didn't realize that I had tried to do it till it was too late. And yeah, it's about the story for this one. Yeah, this is Richard. This is canonically Richard in the CP3D universe. So what else can I show off before I call it? All right, well, I guess I have one last thing to show you before we end the stream, and it's kind of a personal one, so we'll open it. Just give me a second, because I actually have to import this one directly. So the last thing I'm going to show all of you is the first model of mine that actually made it into CP3D. The first one. So let me go back. Now, this model is, what? Is it? Oh, it's ridiculously microscopic. Let's blow that baby up a little bit. So, this is the original clock tower. Now, as you can see, it's terrible. It's real bad. I actively hate that I made this. But it's an important piece of my career, I guess you'd call it, my experience as a modeler. But just to patch up a few things, I'm not gonna change it because there's no reason to, but I will do a few things that'll make it look a whole lot better. First off, let's grab all of these and push them further inward. Like, that looks a lot better than having them jut out all the way. Like, push your, if you're gonna use actual text like this instead of textures, push them in, because they look way better when they're kind of just off instead of, like, look at that. Like, look at this. It's terrible. Look how bad this is.
Like, this font is awful. The model itself is awful. You can very easily fix this problem just by going like that, and it looks 10 times better than it did. Oh, yeah, but I guess the main thing I want all of you to take away is that if you're thinking like, oh man, I want to do this kind of thing, but I suck at it, just start slowly. I'd recommend learning Blender first because it's terrible, but you'll learn everything you need from Blender tutorials. I've got a few I could send if you're interested. But you should definitely just go for it if you're like, hey, I want to do this, but I suck at it. It's like, yeah, but like, look at this thing. Look at this abomination. This made it into a game and stayed in a game for a fairly long time. So if you think you're bad, just, you can't be any worse than I was when I started. So just go for it. Just download Blender. It's completely free, and just start messing around and see what you make. That's about what I would say to anyone who's like, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. Flash isn't free, so that's kind of annoying if you want to do something like this where you port images, but you can get all the images online. You just gotta know where to get the high quality ones. And you can always take stuff right off of, you know, if you go to CPR, you can always just like take a snip, take a little piece, take the texture it. You know, you can do whatever. It is what it is. But I hope you all have enjoyed this stream as much as I have. This was originally supposed to be an Adobe Flash stream, but it just became a retrospective. So hopefully that doesn't throw too many of you off. Don't throw Blender under the bus like that. It isn't that bad. It only takes 4 years to learn the UI. You're right. It only takes 4 years. That was my big thing when I first switched over to Blender, because I made this in Google SketchUp, and I was so used to SketchUp at the time that I was like, oh my god, like, you know, I was like, oh my god. The UI is so confusing for both Blender and Cinema 4D. Which one do I go with? And I was like, Blender's free. I'll try that. And then I went from there, and I personally like Blender a lot. I think it gives a lot of particulars for game making stuff, and it also is just better at giving a cartoony sort of style, which is what 3D kind of needed. To be fair, 2.8 is a pretty nice UI. I haven't actually tried 2.8 yet because you have to export everything into FBX to use it with Unity, which is annoying because I don't really like the FBX file format that much. It's just kind of it's kind of annoying. I had to switch things over from SketchUp into FBX, and everything would always corrupt because SketchUp is bad software. Yeah, no, don't use SketchUp if you're learning how to model. I know it's easy, but it doesn't work long term. Your models end up looking like this. They're awful. I hate everything about this model, and I made it better since touching it. But yeah, just go straight into Blender, jump right in, and see where you go. And I think you'll be able to make something pretty good after a while. That's about where I'm probably gonna end it for now. If you guys are interested in more of these, definitely let us know, because we definitely want more community interaction, and we want to know what you guys want. So if you guys want more of this, or if you want anything else, just throw it in any of the general chats and just suggest it. You can even like DM me if you want. My DMs are always open. I'm not really I don't close them off. If you guys want to see something, just tell me. I would 100% do it. But that's about it. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. I really don't have anything else to say, so I think I'm just gonna call it. This has been great, guys. Thank you so much.